Hi, I'm Tony. Welcome to Sports Bike Shop's review of the AGV Street Modular helmet. First we had the AGV Sport Modular, then came the Tour Modular, and now there's this, the Street Modular. Here in the UK, the Sport Mod and Tour Mod have both ridden off into the sunset now, so this is the last AGV flip helmet standing. In essence, it's a plastic shell flip front with prices starting at 250 quid, but let's go into a bit more depth and explain what I found out on the road. The thermoplastic shell for this helmet means we wouldn't expect it to be a lightweight, and it showed 1850 grams on our scales. The balance of that weight means it didn't feel heavy on my head, but it is near the top of the list of heaviest helmets we've weighed. It flips open by pulling down the button at the tip of the chin bar and then lifting. This was fine in thin summer gloves, but this button became tricky to use in thicker winter ones, and in one pair of heated gloves which had a bit of excess material at the top of the thumb, I couldn't operate this button at all until I'd taken a glove off, and that's not the ideal situation. It takes a fair amount of force to get the chin bar to rest in its first open position, and it feels pretty firmly held open at this point, but push again and you'll find the second open position. With some helmets, like the Shoei Neotech 3, this second step acts as the locked position, but on this one, there's an additional switch on the side to lock it into this position, and the chin bar needs to be open to this stage, not the first stage, before that lock will operate. The Street Modular is P&J dual homologated, so it's passed the safety test for a full face helmet with the chin bar closed and as an open face with it locked open. Another quirk of this lid is this. The visor is free to move back when the chin bar's in the open position. This is not something you'd want to do deliberately, and it's unlikely also that you'll do it accidentally, but if you do happen to knock it back when the chin bar's up, the chin bar won't shut properly until you close the visor again. This is not something that happened to me while I wore this lid, but it is worth being aware of the possibility, so then if you're struggling to get the chin bar to drop, just check the visor is closed before you continue. When it does close, the chin bar locks in with a pronounced click, so it's obvious that it's back in place. Okay, moving on to vents, there are air intakes at the chin and up top, and then channels in the EPS impact liner that let the air flow towards an exhaust vent at the rear of the helmet. I found the chin vent to be limited in its effectiveness, but the flow through the top vent was more noticeable. And also, let's just cover off noise. I didn't find this helmet to be noisy, but that always depends on the rider and the bike, so another rider on another bike might find this a noisy lid. Okay, let's look at the visor. From fully open, there are 5 intermediate stages until the lip comes to rest on the bottom seal, and then a firm press clicks it fully shut. Pushing this tab here upwards gives you a very small cracked position, which will help with things like keeping your specs free of mist. The next step up gives you about a 3cm opening. I liked the amount of airflow this gave me when I was riding a Suzuki V-Strom 800RE at town speeds. Once I got up to about 45 miles an hour, that would just slip shut though. Now I know some people like to ride with the visor fully open. I tested this and found it wouldn't stay open on the V-Strom, but that doesn't mean it would behave the same way on all bikes. The visor is easy to remove and refit. You pull the grey lever down inside to release it and then do the same to open up the space where the tabs fit back in. There's a Pinlock 70 insert supplied with the helmet, it covers most of the eye port, and I found it helped this helmet give me good peripheral vision. I didn't need to alter the tension of the Pinlock, but if you do, then the external screw adjusters make that an easy process. The sun visor, that operates on a switch on the left rim, and it gives a good level of drop and tint level. I didn't have any issues with misting either, even on cold mornings. Okay, let's have a look at the interior. It's a nice soft liner that's made up of 2 cheek pads and a skull liner, and they can all be removed for cleaning. The tops of the cheek pads have got channels for spectacle arms, and my specs went in there with no trouble at all. Now, there was clearly an issue with the way the skull pad attached into the helmet above the brow on early production helmets like this one. The plastic connection is weak, and AGV have used self-adhesive Velcro dots to make that connection stronger. I've checked quite a few of the Street Modulars we've got in stock, and quite a few of them have this system in place, if you can call it a system. It's not the sort of remedy that I would really expect from a brand like AGV. Right, the chin strap fastener, that's a micrometric buckle, just as you'd expect on all flip fronts, and then we can move on to Intercom compatibility. There's no official Intercom for this helmet, and I think it'll be easy enough though to put your own choice of comms on a Street Modular. The speaker recesses are big enough for a pair of 45mm Cardo speakers, so those are as big as anyone's going to need them to be. The trim around the base of the helmet is quite thick, so you'll need a self-adhesive mounting plate rather than a clamp mount for the control module, but there's plenty of room on the shell, nice flat surface, and fitting an Intercom on there should be pretty simple. Okay, time to move on to sizing, approvals and pricing. The Street Modular is available in sizes from extra small to 2XL, and there are 2 shell sizes. Everything up to and including medium is in the smaller shell, and everything from large and up goes in the bigger shell. I wore my usual size of helmet, medium, and found this helmet suited me well. My head measures 59 centimetres around, so the size chart suggests I should be in a large, but a medium is much, much better, like it is with most brands. So that just shows that measurements and size charts should only ever be a starting point. Flip front helmets will almost always fit more closely when the chin bar is down compared to when the chin bar is raised. I didn't notice an issue, particularly with this helmet, but it is always worth checking them in both open and closed positions before deciding whether a lid fits you properly. Now, if you're interested in our return stats, a Street Mod is twice as likely to be sent back for being too small than it is for being too big. So I would err on the larger side if you sit on the cusp of two helmet sizes. In terms of approvals, the Street Mod meets ECE 2206 for the road and it's dual homologated, so it can legally be worn with the chin bar locked open. There's no ACU gold sticker, that's no surprise, and there's no Sharp rating as we record this. We will add the Sharp details to the description below if they publish a rating. Right. Prices. In plain colours, the Street Modular is $249.99 as we record this, and in graphics, it's $279.99. Okay, let's sum up. On the whole, I found this to be a decent helmet. The fiddly chin bar button is an issue in winter gloves, and the solution to the weak liner clips on earlier production models is inelegant to say the least. And I'm glad to see that helmets with the newest manufacture dates marked inside them have stronger clips and don't need that Velcro workaround. If you've got a £250 budget for a flip helmet, then I think the main choices are this, HJC's I91, a Nolan N93 and the Caberg Duke Evo. This helmet holds up well in that company and the cracked position for the visor is a strength, especially when compared to the HJC. As ever though, I would say fit for your head is the main concern. If this one works for yours like it did for mine, then this is a reasonable bet for a mid-priced flip. I hope that tells you everything you wanted to know about the AGV Street Modular, but if there is anything you'd like to ask or to add, then please pop a comment below. Thanks for watching.